mud or blood will prevent the scalding water from getting to that point.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so that needs to come off, and we're going to make incisions on the feet. And you know, we just would like those to be clean so we don't get mud in there. It's mainly the feet and
The bottom.
the neck and yeah.
Up in the ear.
So,
Yeah.
there's that, I mean, they even have stuff
They do.
with a what?
Because that is in the case of ruminants.
Here's a bunch of mud.
And I even stir it up like that before I get a temperature because the hot water is up here, and we gotta displace that. And so we go to 147 because once we put the pig in, he'll bring it down. She will bring it down to about 145, which is perfect. And we're still gonna check it every 90 seconds.
You're on 140.
Okay, well I go a little longer. The goal is to not only remove the bristle, but the pigmented layer of skin. We want that to come off too. And so this pig will be pink underneath. And the heat, water, or from fire will do that. Today, you know, I use a jet propane burner that I can bring the temperature up in this thing by 2 or 3 degrees in less than 90 seconds, which makes this really efficient. The other tool is, we won't use it today, but if you're not going to do the dump, you use a jet weed burner, a propane.
Oh, right.
And the same risk maintains between both, and that is don't overheat it. That is the worst. It's not more heat is better. No, it can set the hair and cook the skin. So you have to scrape harder to get it off, but the skin isn't tough enough to take that scraping because you've started to melt it and it starts to come off in chunks. It is a nightmare. So, and you can do that by this being too hot and having the pig in there too long, or by holding the torch on too long. And so you just wave the torch to quickly burn the hair, and then you can see the pigmented layer of skin. And you only torch that long enough to see little tiny bubbles. They rise on the skin in clusters. And if you get big bubbles, you know, like dime size, that's too big. It's been on too long, so it's really sensitive, guys. Just keep it perfect. And then you'll scrape it, just like we will after this, and it'll come right off. My tendons in its feet, and they are right here in between the dew claws. And the tendons, it's a cluster of them about the size of your pinky, and they're right there. And so I feel kind of for the inside of the knuckle of this dew claw, and I can feel it there. And I'm going to go right to there with my knife, down to bone. Same thing on this side. Down to bone. Yeah. And then I can slip my finger in there and, you know, feel the thickness of this, and you'll have a sense of how thick it needs to be. One of these will hold the entire pig, even if it's an 800-pound pig.
Wow.
It's really amazing, yeah. So we'll do that to all 4. And it's nice, you know, support him on his back, like her on her back like this. It makes it a little easier to access those.
Good. Okay, do you want to get this one?
Then we'll put this big stubby one in
You probably done this before, huh?
No, never this type of process. We don't, you know, just skin out and that's it. But we get the hair off with wine. You ain't eating that.
So, Brandon, do you need this on here? Isn't it going to stop it from dunking in?
It's pure ease. It's so that as the pig goes up, you have something nice and comfortable
Yeah.
to hold on to so he doesn't
Gotcha. Yep.
hit the barrel.
Got it.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of these little things I have because I do it by myself.
Right.
So beautiful. Anybody got a timing device?
I do.
We're gonna do 90 seconds. All right, we can start the clock.
Okay, wait.
No, you can't.
Okay, did you get it started though?
Yeah.
90 seconds. Is the piggy waltz.
Right.
And it is not superfluous because we got to keep the pig off the barrel.
Right.
She just wants to rest on the barrel, and so we want to get that water circulating all around under the skin. And again, it's just like shooting the pig. I can tell you how bad an overscald is, but until you experience one, oh my gosh! I mean, the real test to see, you know, if this is something that you're dedicated to, is to scrape pigs by headlamp, you know, at night and
Wow.
overscalded. And I don't want you to do that. You know, this should be fun.
Right.
This should be an enjoyable harvest. And that's why I tell people the first few times, just do one pig in a day and have people over and harvest the offal, cook it all up. Make it easy. We could dunk the whole thing.
You got a flipper?
But we're gonna flip
flip
her.
it,
Yeah, call it flipper. You know, on a normal sized pig, this is what we do. He'd be up here
Is it
about
90
this
seconds
high.
yet?
Oh yeah. So what we want is for this to come off effortlessly. And I'm still taking a bit of a tug to get it, you know?
Okay.
Some parts are real easy, but not all of them. So
You want another 90?
we'll try another 90.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
we might not even go that long. We'll see. The point of checking every 90 is to avoid the overscald. Because there is no return from the overscald. You know what I mean?
Is there
You can
any-
fix an underscald. Oh, too easy. I make
yeah,
this way
that's
too
great.
easy on you guys. Well, you can, you know, just pull it off by the hair if you want. This is a hog scraper, and I've got a bunch of these. And you don't need to be shot. You know, you can't bruise the pig in any way.
You just let it fall into the...
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he can't be bruised, so there's no blood flow.
You probably had lots of practice with it.
Like, you know, a deer, you can fist the hide if you get in the right seam. Same on goats because they have hides.
Right.
All animals with hides, it can be pulled off like a wet sock. Same with rabbits.
Right.
Pigs don't have that. They have skin. They get sunburns and freckles and melanomas, just like us.
Wow.
And so there is no seam. You'll see. To take the skin off, you have to knife every square inch.
It just went...
Yeah,
kidding.
no, it will do that if your knife will fall into a seam that is not between skin and flesh. It's in between back fat and pork chop. And you'll see exactly what I mean later, which means you lose all the back fat. So we'll do a little bit of shaving. There's just some on the feet here, you know. We probably won't be able to fit all of us around here, but these have got a really sharp edge on it, which is just another way of saying it's really acute as opposed to obtuse, you know?
Right.
And so you just need to hold the knife almost flat on the skin.
Like shaving.
Yeah,
Like
just like
shaving.
straight razor, yeah.
Yeah. And if you do that, you can actually push quite hard and get a really deep shave. And you won't cut the skin. So, you know, this won't do anything, but
Right.
keeping it like that, we'll get a good shave. Yeah, it gets long. And this can go right in there. Yeah, then we'll keep this in. And as that goes up, it'll swing this way. There you go. Yeah, this can come out. Yeah, it's okay. You can put it out. And the key is to just make sure you stay behind the ears. So I'll just make a mark right there, you know. So as you're going, just make sure you stay right back there, all the way around. And the goal is to cut all the meat away so that the only thing that's holding the head on is the spine.
Fine.
And then we can hyperextend that, and it'll pop right off. We don't have to jiggle it and saw it, which cramps my style a little bit. Yeah, insert right in there. Just carry it all the way around. Stay behind those ears.
You're
You can
starting
go,
in the hole.
Go
right?
way deep. Yeah, there you go.
Can you feel the bone? Can you feel something solid in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Bacon stratification.
Wow, that's really something.
That's the jowl. Yeah, so that'll tell you what your guanciale will look like.
Guanciale.
Yeah, and then if you just see any little bits of meat hanging on in there, get them all. So the only thing remaining is
The bone.
the spine. Yeah. Yeah.
All you have to
Take
do
it
is
off.
hit those tongues.
Yeah, you can twist it, or
Yeah.
there you go. Got it. Beauty. Nicely did.
All right.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So you can see
Amazing.
that target, right? That's
Right.
what right between the eyes looks like.
There you go.
No brains there. It's way up here, forehead.
Brains are right here.
Yeah, and the target is about the size of a golf ball. So there's a lot of food here on a pig head. And again, you really only get it when you scald and scrape. There's nothing less appetizing than a skinned pig head. It just looks like a horror movie. It's not pretty at all. It's artless. And it's worth making this look appetizing in the field, which usually means get the hair off. Because the line between what is edible and just what does not belong in the kitchen is usually made by hair. That's the thing that we don't eat. And probably my favorite way to do the head, it's really luxurious, is to just roast the whole thing. And
The Italians do like that, do the whole head.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I'd be good
such
with
a
pizza.
treat.
That's my grandfather. He's doing that.
Is that right?
Whole head.
We want to tie off the anus because it is probably got poopy, just behind there. And the reason is we're going to pull everything out this end, and you can get the toothpaste tube effect as you do that, and you can squirt a little out. Now, if that happens, it's not that big of a deal. It's really nothing to fuss about. If you do get some poopy on the flesh, you have a choice, to spray or not to spray. Are we going to rinse it off, or are we going to cut it out? And usually rinsing is not the best option because you're just going to rinse it down the rest of the meat. So it takes a little self-restraint, but because you'll do this and maybe you nick it and you get some poopy on it, but instead of taking care of it, you just continue. You pull all the guts out, try to make that hole not lose any more poo, and then you even go so far as to split the carcass. And then you come back to it where you can see it, and you just peel, just cut out that little bit. It's really not a big deal. All that to say, females are generally a little easier. You can use the vulva as a handle, and we're going to include that in it. There's the anus right there, and there's the vulva. It's shaped like this, so the pelvis is actually encircling the anus, and it meets up here. And the knife handle is the anus, and it's right up against my thumbs, which are the spine that go out to the tail. That's exactly what it's shaped like. And it's at about that angle too. And so I'm going to start up here with my knife because there's a cavity in there. So I just start up top. And people always make a mistake when they go too deep at once, So see how I'm staying shallow? And then gradually deeper as it opens up, and as I
Then you can
pull
see
it
what
away.
you're doing.
Yeah, I can see what I'm doing. I can see what to avoid. Come down the side.
The fat layer is just crazy.
Yeah, this is easier on pigs than ruminants, again, because of that fat layer.
Yeah, it's just,
There's a little more room in between your knife and what you don't want to cut. Yeah, so there's that cavity, right? And you can see that's not like an incision.
Right.
That's a cavern.
Yep.
Now we're going to go just under it, right up against the tail. You can see how I'm bending my knife against it because the anus
You
is
don't want to go
just, yeah, it's
nick it.
right on it. I'll go just low enough with my knife. Going around again, pulling the anus opposite my knife, to see what I can see. And the best strategy is, when in doubt, put the knife down and go in with your fingers. And you can rip little fascia like that. That's holding the anus to the intestinal walls safely.
Okay, yeah.
Because if I do it with the knife, I can puncture it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's what you do.
Yeah, then we're going to tie it off. And
Why not just cut right here? Is that? Or...
No, you
we
don't
would
want
open it up.
You'd open it up if they cut it.
Yeah,
So
because
this
It's
is
open too.
yeah. This
Oh,
is,
actually, that's whole. Okay,
Yeah.
all the way down is open.
This is the end of the line. This is the pooper, and so we're
So you
shut
don't
it
want
now.
it to come out.
Yeah. So we can, because we're going to yank on it this
Right,
way,
right.
and just
Pull
that
it out here.
process
Right,
can kind of
right.
Because
squirt
it has to
them
go
out.
through the pelvis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just going to make an incision down.
And you don't go
And,
very deep with your incision either, right?
That's right, because we don't want to touch the guts. My strategy is to make it so that the knife is not the first thing that breaches the interior. It's my finger.
Oh, okay.
'Cause this is
Okay.
dull.
It's kind of like the chicken.
And I'll just get it started. But, well, no, I'll have one of you get it started. You want to do that?
All right.
So you can see it. So just score the skin. And we can go, you can take that score all the way down to where it seems like the pelvis starts. Yeah. You can see how this is pig skin, right? It's not a hide. It's like, it's right, it's on the fat. It's part of it. It's not,
So how far down should I
a little
go with
further, I
this?
think.
So you can see.
All right, that's good. And then come back up here, and you can note this is the paunch. This is where
Right.
guts are. This is flesh. This
Ah,
is
yeah,
where
okay.
leg bones are.
Oh,
or
so like
muscles.
right in
Right.
here is all the goodies.
Yeah, bladder's right there. So you
Okay.
can safely come with your knife up here and
Here.
cut down until you hit pelvis. And you're not going to get into gut town that way.
So you
To
couldn't
get
get a hook
into
in
gut.
So
there.
I can, that's just blood.
That's fine. Yeah, you can go all the way, keep going down just like that until you feel bone. And that will be the pelvis.
So that's blood right here.
Yeah.
That's right, and that's
I'm
fine.
at the bone right now.
Okay, so then,
Oh, I see.
that's just in between. Yeah, exactly. Take that a little deeper. Gradually deeper, and I'll show you there's a particular seam we're going to access that will enable us to make our finger the pioneer into gut town.
Can you get down to that where it's like muscle and then the split? I don't know what that.
Yeah.
That ligament.
Should I just work up here, Brent, or just continue down?
Yeah, so you can see we're starting to see meat right there.
Right.
So cut until that meat is visible, but you don't have to go through it, Yeah, we're kind of exposing it, and that little membrane is coming off of it. Now that membrane that's coming off the meat carries on all the way down the belly.
Right, I just went through it right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
the
That's
kind of-
inside.
Yeah.
That's inside. So I'll show you with the knife really quick. I want to try to illustrate it. Here we can go all the way to pelvis.
Okay.
Cut just through the meat.
Okay.
That's internal body fat.
Right.
Right.
And let me see if you can see how I'm
Yeah, right.
cutting
Right
that
through
little
that
membrane.
little membrane right
Oh.
That is
Yeah.
the difference. Even though this is fat and that's fat, that is interior body fat.
Fat,
This
that's
is
the exterior.
subcutaneous.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So by cutting this little guy, we're
Right.
accessing the inside, but we're not going all the way into
That's right.
guts. So you can try to keep doing that, just exactly
Right.
cutting that little guy no deeper, and carry it all the way down. That's great. Now with goats and lambs, this is a totally different thing, just because that space between you and the guts is just so thin. It's so thin.
Sure, because
Wow.
There's not belly. Yeah, perfect. That's great. And you should be at about the sternum there. You'll probably feel it with your knife.
there. Yep, right here.
Perfect. Then I can take the knife for you because we don't need it
So
anymore.
finger work from here on.
Yeah, so you can actually just push your finger in there and you'll break through that little membrane that is the internal body fat, the leaf fat, by the way. It's a very special fat.
Okay.
And once
Yep.
you start to see
Got it.
nice
Ah.
tubies,
Yep.
you're inside. So just drag your
Just
finger all the way down and that
Oh, wow.
breaks
Cool.
it.
Man, that's clean.
Isn't that slick? So, we don't have to worry about the knife.
So
getting in
small
there.
intestines, large intestines.
Yeah.
What's this?
Large intestine right here. This
Okay.
is colon. This is bladder.
Okay.
This, by the way, is uterus. Very tiny. This whole thing. It looks like intestine, but this is actually
Oh, yeah.
a branched uterus. This is a
So
female.
that's part of the uterus. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a little inflamed, so she was probably in heat or something. So now, everything is connected to the spine.
Right.
All the guts are connected to the spine. They're not connected to the sidewalls
Right.
here.
Mm.
To
It's all
they're
free,
just sitting there. So we can only detach it by ripping it off of the spine gingerly, as it were.
Okay.
So we start with the anus. You go up in here and kind of break some fascia and get your whole fist around that rectum, and then pull it slowly down.
That's a rectum right there.
Yeah.
It's already falling back in.
Eventually we'll get the, you'll see the tie off that I did.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I bet you could get it. And I kind of get your fingers up in the the pelvis area too,
Yeah.
that canal.
Yeah.
And then if you can wrap a whole fist around it, there it is.
Got it.
There it is. Yeah, and so you see that's the stuff that's holding it to the spine.
Yeah.
Stringy stuff like that. So I like to, I'm lending some support to the guts here, because sometimes they're too heavy for their own.
That's a kidneys, right?
Yeah, those are kidneys. We want those to stay on the carcass.
Right.
And the reason is because to remove them, we'd have to remove some leaf fat, but we want to keep all the leaf fat in there.
Got it.
So I do this with my hand, and I kind of bridge that whole deal,
Okay.
and I push down there, and that starts breaking fascia.
One of the kidneys is coming. with
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah, I think that might stay if we kind of, rip this instead of sending it. But really, I think now we need to, there you go, yeah, that's a renal tract. Go down here and lift up and out all those small intestines. There we go. Down on it, and it starts to fall, right?
Pulling down, huh?
Yeah, I'm pushing down. Let gravity help you out. And then, all right, so now we've got liver here. Those little renal guys can be tough. There you go. This is stomach on this side. So right in there. Now you want to get your hand way down underneath that stomach and lift it up and out. There, nice, perfect, yeah. Now do the same thing with the liver, but on the opposite side. It's kind of split by this hanger steak right in the middle.
Right. Got it.
So I'll try to push it your way. There you go.
Oh, so you want to get that liver all on one side?
Yeah, I can hold the rectum for you.
Okay.
Incredibly stronger than game.
So where did that liver go?
There's lung.
Oh, you got it. Okay, hold on with the lungs.
Okay.
So I think you can do it all in one fell swoop.
All right.
I tend to.
Just go with the liver through the other
Yeah,
side.
exactly.
Got it.
Get the whole liver
Yep.
and the stomach out. We're gonna cut everything free now, and we'll leave the lung in,
Okay.
and then we'll come back for it once we harvest some of this goodies. So I'm gonna come in with a knife. This is the esophagus.
Right.
And it's holding on to everything from the stomach. So I just do that.
Oh.
And it'll all fall down. And the esophagus usually stays closed.
Now, where's the anus?
restricted, you know.
The anus is right here.
Okay.
All right, so here's the anus. We've got lots of goodies in here. The liver, of course, stands out. Nice and fresh and beautiful. So I just hold it up, try to get the whole thing in my hand, which with a bigger pig is kind of tricky because they're huge, very big livers. And I cut it free from the stomach. Now we've got the bile sac on it. Right?
Right. Yeah.
This is the gallbladder, this is the duct, and it's open at this end. That's
Yeah,
bile
so
right
you
there,
see it, yeah.
because that's where I cut it.
Right.
And I like to
You
grab
pinch
this
that.
end.
And then cut it off.
Yeah, and I'm cutting it free of the other parts of the
Right.
duct. I'm not worrying about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can kind of cut / tug on it
Right.
until eventually.
That's the bile duct now, right?
This
You're
is-
walking-
yeah, and this is the gallbladder. And this is how the pig metabolizes fat in its diet.
Nice.
Just like that. We'll set this rat chair for now. And there's the liver.
Wow.
And this is beautiful. And I'm just going to cut the hanger free. It just connects to the spine here. There's no real trick to it. And connects to the... Look at how deep that color is, right? That is... this is the porkiest and the skirt steak. This is the most intensely flavored piece of muscle tissue on the whole animal.
Wow.
So on a lamb, it's the most lamby. On a goat, it's the most goaty. On a beef, it's the beefiest. I'm just gonna make a line down the middle because fat and gristle tends to hang up the saw when we split it. And you can see this, and again, this is gonna sound complex, but all we have to do is pull out the lungs and the heart. And so we don't have to worry about spilling any bad juices anywhere anymore.
Right.
See this big tube right there? That's the aortal vessel. That runs all the way back to the back legs. Carries blood. That's a blood vessel.
Wow.
Major plumbing, right? And so This is just how I do it. But again, you can, any old way works. I pull this off the wall of the spine, and I use that kind of as my guide.
To go down to the heart?
Yeah. Now I go down with my hand in between that and the spine. And I'm reaching for the trachea, which feels a lot like yours. It's a ridged tube. Yeah, it's got rings on it. Right. And if you're ripping fascia the whole way down just to get there, and when there's pretty much nowhere else to go, grab, and you will inevitably grab the trachea because it's the only thing there, and pull up and out, and hopefully we'll get the throat with it too. If there's a tube that's going this way, wrap your whole hand around it, and you'll
feel the ridges on it.
You got to break fascia to do it.
Okay, yeah, I can see.
Yeah. And once you can get the whole fist around it, just a slow, steady, upward lift. And you'll probably lift the pig when you do it, because you're pulling the throat through a smaller opening. The whole spectrum. Nice job. Beauty. Nice. Okay, you got it. Perfect. So we got heart, lungs, right? There's the throat. You got it. You didn't rip it. Here's the esophagus, right next to the trachea. Cutting through the sternum, it's a fibrous bone. It's easy to cut with a cleaver. It works quite well, actually.
The spine, not so much.
The spine takes a little more skill. It's not impossible, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
It takes lots of practice. You mess up a whole bunch of sides before you get that. Yeah. Oh, that sounded like it. Yeah. So then I'll just finish that with the knife, because that's just flesh now. And so we can just go straight down, like that.
Nice.
Now you can come up and do the pelvis. There you go.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
And then right center on the tail, and you just focus on staying centered, and I'll worry about keeping the tail out of the way. There it is. This saw cuts on the foot, as I'm sure you have discovered.
Good job, man.
Beautiful.
There it is. Here comes the
Beautiful
knife.
job.
And just break the skin, and stop right about here.
Right.
Before you get to the tip.
Is that deep enough?
Yeah, you can go a little deeper. Just there you go. And don't go any further. So don't go all the way to the tip. Stop right about there.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just fine. So go do some more strokes. And right now we're
Go deeper now?
Yeah, we're excavating until we see the pizzle. This is called pizzle excavation. Oh, sorry.
Wow, he's
That's
got
good.
it.
Yeah.
And there it is.
So there it is. This is it right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. So now we can, I try to get behind it like that, kind of pull it out of the fat. So then with the knife, just go straight in behind it. And pull, as you pull on it, you'll be cutting it free, and coming out. But then when you get to here, with the knife you'll actually go into the skin. And we'll take this out, so it's attached to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll stand with it. I think he's got it.
Yeah, just like that. And even if you cut the penis, it's fine. It won't. Now you can start going into the skin just a little bit, with a little bit of depth. Yeah. So I do it all the way behind like this. You can, with the knife all the way behind. Oop.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Kind of like that, And I'm holding it out,
See, I see. That way you can feel.
And then once you get down to about there, then you just come straight out.
I see.
And now it's free.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's good. Let's come straight
Go
out.
forward.
There it is.
You got it.
And then you can just cut it right there.
Or not.
And then you get to, you get to take that home.
Yeah.